It's another episode of the Hangar Hangout. It's actually episode 25. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's been fun. Time is flying by. The New York Jets are giving us a lot of positive things to talk about. We're talking about the New York Jets at 2-1. You're starting to go ahead and see the AFC East come to shape a little bit, right? But in all actuality, as good as things have been for the New York Jets, come to find out, it can actually get a lot better. And tonight, we're going to talk about it.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you won a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you won a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance man.
Congratulations, brother.
And here we go.
What's good? What's good? All right, so check it out. So I know the Hangar Hangout is usually a Tuesday night show. I had to work, you know what I'm saying? Duty called. I was in College Station for the last couple of days, but I definitely want to make sure I got a show in this week. The New York Jets are freaking 2-1. There was no way I was missing out on an opportunity to go ahead and chop it up with y'all and hang out with y'all. But tonight, I want to go ahead and bring on the guy, man, Mike the Stat Guy. You guys already know him. He and I have been talking back and forth about the game, and he brought to light some very, very interesting aspects in regards to, like, how much better this Jets offense can get. Now, don't get it twisted, right? New York Jets right now currently lead the NFL in third down efficiency. They're number one in the NFL in regards to converting third downs. We're talking about Nathaniel Hackett being considered a top 5 freaking offensive coordinator going into week 3. And I know it's early, it's week 3, but these early games kind of matter as you see your team start to shape out who they're going to be. And I got to admit, man, the New York Jets offense is shaping out to be a pretty good unit. And I'm even including that 49ers game too, right? In terms of what they did against the 49ers, I mean, they put up points in the 19 minutes that they actually had the ball. I believe it was almost like 1 point per every minute and a half, something like that when you did the math. So they even looked kind of good in that game against the 49ers, which is still a top defensive unit in the league. Don't get it twisted. They're down 1-2 right now, predominantly because on the offensive side, they're dealing with some stuff. But the Jets have played a really good 49ers team, a top 10 defense in the Patriots, and a Tennessee Titans team where there was high expectations of them coming in this year and being pretty good. And in actuality, the team is not a bad team. Will Levis is just trash. So, nevertheless, Jets are 2-1, right? The Buffalo Bills right now are 3-0. Mike the Stat Guy brought some interesting aspects as to how the New York Jets can only keep getting better. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Without further ado, my guy, Mike the Stat Guy. What's up, Mike? How you living, bro? You're muted, I think. I think Mike is having some technical difficulties, which is crazy. We just spent like 5 minutes prepping before we jumped on here, and he was coming in. He's coming in clear. I don't think so, because you can hear me just fine. While Mike figures out what the technical difficulties are back here, he's going to go ahead and come back in. All right, Mike, go ahead, do your thing. Yeah, so ultimately what it boils down to is that we've been talking about how the Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson connection seems a bit off, right? I think we all kind of saw it the last few games. We saw it even against the Patriots. Now, Christian Gonzalez, I will say this. Garrett Wilson has been facing off against some of the top cornerbacks in the league over the last freaking several weeks, right? 49ers, Titans, and freaking the Patriots have, in my opinion, top 10 guys at the cornerback position. And they've been shadowing freaking Garrett Wilson. But I thought to myself that, man, is Garrett Wilson struggling against these top guys? Kind of hate to see it because you want to go ahead and see Garrett Wilson take advantage of finally having a quarterback. And I couldn't be more wrong. Garrett Wilson has been cooking a lot of these wide receivers, these cornerbacks. It hasn't been on Garrett Wilson. It's been more so on that connection between him and Aaron Rodgers. So again, going over some of the tape from this past weekend, from the Thursday night game, I realized, like, man, so Garrett Wilson has been putting these guys in a blender. These top cornerbacks haven't been slowing down Garrett Wilson. For some reason, that connection between him and Aaron Rodgers is still a little bit shaky. They're not there yet. They'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, what Aaron Rodgers did for the New York Jets on Thursday Night Football to embarrass the New England Patriots was nothing less than just beautiful. It was poetry. We got to witness a team that's been bullying us and beating down the New York Jets and the fan base for 2+ decades, and we embarrassed them. I had the pleasure of watching several freaking. I went and found Patriots streams, Patriots fans streaming the game and whatnot, just to go ahead and enjoy the fact that they were getting bullied and to kind of get their reaction. I enjoyed their tears. I enjoyed their sadness and their frustration. And it was just, listen, if you haven't done it yet, Jets fans, go ahead and just type into your YouTube search, Jets versus freaking Patriots versus Jets. And then you'll see a lot of Patriots fans that stream the game and whatnot, and they're just in shambles. It's quality content. It's quality content if you're a Jets fan. I highly recommend it. But I think Mike is back for us. Let me go ahead and try it out here. Hey, Mike.
Gunny, my man. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hearing you now, baby. We're hearing you now.
I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, as you know, I'm in the Philippines, man. The connection isn't, the best here. However, next week I'm going to be going to another location that has much better internet service. But yeah, I'm really excited, to get into this tonight and go over pretty much what you essentially talked about, how our offense is doing well, but there are things that we can kind of clean up and do better on, which I think is going to happen.
Yeah, and again, like I noticed some of it, obviously watching the game, but you went into more detail. You broke down the all 22, and you showed me a couple of things that even I didn't see, man. So I appreciate you making the time to jump on the show and share that with our fellow fanatics, because I think Jets fans are only going to be more excited as they realize there's still growth to be had in this freaking offense, and we enjoyed thoroughly what we just witnessed them do against the Patriots on Thursday night. So I'm going to pull up the video, man. I'm going to let you do your thing, man, because, again, the way you break it down is just so technical, and I think it's also very simple to understand. It's beautiful stuff, man. So we're going to go ahead and do a little all-22. We're going to watch the tape. We're going to go ahead and watch the tape. Go ahead, Mike. Take it away.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Gunny. So everybody should get really excited for what this offense can do. I know that all of us have been so hyped, even from last year, before Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the first 4 plays of the season. We were all super hyped for him to come in and kind of be that quarterback that we haven't had in such a long time, and for us to have that offense that we haven't had in such a very long time. Then obviously we know the whole story. He got hurt. Then Zach Wilson came in. We tried to win as many games as we could with him, but it just wasn't enough. But now we actually have him. He's fully healthy. He's already 3 games into the season. We all know what happened Monday Night Football. I think that we were only at about a 30% chemistry rate in terms of our offense. And then the following week against the Titans, I think we were only at about a 60% chemistry rate for the offense. And then finally against the Patriots here that we're going to go over, I think we're kind of getting closer to that 100%, not quite there yet, but I think we're at more of like a 80% rate. And the only thing missing out of this offense that I have seen and that we're going to see tonight is that Garrett Wilson connection isn't fully there. But there are a lot of positives that I want to go over today, with this tape, and we're going to see a lot of good things here. And let's go ahead. We're gonna without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and start this tape here. The very first play of the game, I want you guys to take a look at Braylon Allen in the backfield. This is one of the reasons why I think Braylon Allen should be on the field a heck of a lot more than how we've been using him so far. This is not the greatest play in the world, the most sexiest play in the world, but this guy, man, he just does not go down on the first contact. Look what he does here on this play. He shimmies a defender that should have been a tackle for loss, and this guy just is able to make things happen. So Braylon Allen really is probably one of the better running backs in the NFL, even only in his 3rd career game.
I saw a graphic earlier in the week that showcased just how efficient he is with the ball in his hands, and it was kind of crazy when you looked at it, because it was everybody else, who includes some of the elite guys like your Breece Halls, your freaking Derrick Henrys and whatnot, who are running the ball really well, And then you had freaking Braylon Allen far right by himself, standing on his own, right? The dude's been very, very efficient. I think we all knew how good he was going to be. I don't think we were expecting him to be this great this early on, right? I think in our minds as Jets fans, we had Brees Hall. He would come to spell him from time to time. But this kid is so good that now we've got to find ways to bring them both in at the same time on the field. That wonderful pony package we've been talking about, and I'm beyond impressed with the acquisition of a Brandon Allen. And the more and more I watch this kid play, I don't know how he dropped to us to the fourth round. I really don't know how he dropped this far down to us. But Joe D pounced on it. We were all kind of wondering what the heck he was doing when he drafted a running back, when you and I both were very like, what are we doing? We've got a really good running back in Brees Hall.
Right.
We have other components, but at the end of the day, this is why we ain't GMs, because Braylon Allen right now was turning out to be money.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you said, we weren't really expecting to grab a running back there. In fact, we wanted a wide receiver or an offensive lineman there, particularly a guard. But like Braylon Allen was saying in his one tweet on X or on Twitter, he was saying that, the reason why he fell so late is because he didn't, I'm paraphrasing here, but he didn't really perform at the combine in his underwear. Right. So, obviously a lot of draft analysts, they take the combine into an account here, a very heavy account, and he wasn't at the combine. So that made his draft stock fall a little bit. And obviously we were able to get him in the mid rounds there. So I am really happy that we didn't draft a guard or a wide receiver in that position, that we got Braylon Allen, because this dude is the real deal. And like you said, the combination between him and Brees is just phenomenal. So, can you hear me? Oh, did I lose you again?
No, you're good. I'm muting because the kids are talking in the background, so I'm letting you take
Oh, sorry.
You're good, brother. You're good.
No worries. No worries. I thought I lost you again. All right, so this next play here is going to be a Brees Hall up the middle. He does a pretty good heads-up play. Again, not the greatest play in the world, not the sexiest play, but you're going to see him make a nice little spin move here for a little gain. And this guy is just phenomenal as well in Brees Hall. We all know that. Now, I don't want to see him run too many plays up the middle. I'd rather Braylon Allen be the runner up the middle, and then Brees Hall kind of be that halfback stretch / bubble screen and halfback slip screen player. But Brees Hall really can just do it all, man. Again, like these two in the same backfield are just tremendous together. I think that pony package, like you were talking about, Gunny, should be our premier base offensive package there. And we actually have a couple clips, I think one or two, that we're going to go over that kind of highlight why that package is so elite and so dominant and when it comes to modern offense in the NFL.
No, I think what it is the fact that they're both so capable of not only, running the ball efficiently, going through you, running around you. Brandon Allen, somebody said it beautifully in the chat. I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. Miguel with the comment of Braylon moves like Barry Sanders, right? And You think a guy that big moving like Barry, who was a smaller back, the kid is just so fluid. It's surprising how fluid, light-footed he is. But when he needs to go ahead and drive through you, he can go ahead and pretty much dig deep and go through you as well. The kid he's literally built different, man. Like, Braylon Allen is the epitome of being built different. And then you have him back there with Brees Hall, who made himself known over the last couple of years that he's that guy. He's a dog, right? It's Christian McCaffrey. Then it's Brees Hall. Like, it's been like that for him. Having both of those guys on the field is going to be a nightmare for defenses because they can both run routes and catch the ball too. Like, you don't know is it going to be a running play or are they going to pass the ball, because that's how good these two are in disguising what they can do coming out of the backfield. You can line Brees Hall out if you wanted to in the slot. It's just we're talking about weapons, the whole like Brock weapons aspect. Like, we've got two ridiculous weapons in Braylon Allen and Brees Hall.
100%. And actually, I think 2 plays from now, the play after this one, we're actually going to talk about how they are both in this field at the same time, and exactly what you just said. We could just do so much on one given play. There's just so many different things we could do. But for this play here, Gunny, this is actually going to be the Lazard touchdown. What you guys are going to look at is Lazard in the bottom of the screen here. Aaron Rodgers Man, can we just talk about Aaron Rodgers here for a second in terms of being able to take a look at what the defense is giving you pre-snap and being able to do what is necessary in order for us to get a touchdown or get yardage in that situation. So right here, you're going to see the defensive look here is clearly showing me that they're anticipating a run up the middle from Breece Hall. But Aaron Rodgers sees here, this defender right here is playing off of coverage on Allen Lazard. You have Garrett here up on the top. This defender here, kind of seems like he could be covering Garrett, but you essentially have two defenders here that are going to be smothering Garrett on this play. And then you have Lazard here essentially looking like it's going to be one-on-one here, but it's off coverage. So that means that Aaron Rodgers can go ahead and throw it right out to the flat here right away. And Lazard makes a good move.
I think what we're witnessing right now, which I think is so new to us as Jets fans, we have an adult playing quarterback. We have a grown-up right now playing quarterback. And if we're being honest, there's not many quarterbacks in the NFL, in today's NFL, that can do what Aaron Rodgers can do, right? Literally identifying where to go with the ball pre-snap, reading the defense, understanding and trusting what you're seeing with your eyes. Like, we've got one of those dudes. We got one of those dudes right now playing quarterback for the New York Jets. I think the only sad part about it is like, eventually he's going to have to retire, right? At 40 years old, are we going to get 2-3 years of this maybe? And it's going to be very sad to kind of go back through the process of creating an adult at that position. But the New York Jets right now have a grown-up. They have a grown-up. You can trust them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to take care of you. Every time he gets to the line of scrimmage right now, we as Jets fans don't have to hold our breath that we're going to throw the ball the right way or it won't be a turnover. We can actually watch football right now as Jets fans and just be like, we're probably going to score this or get the first down. There's that level of confidence every time he's back there behind center. It's a new feeling. It's a wonderful feeling.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, you said it best. We have an adult back there now, Hall of Fame quarterback, and he's ours. So as long as he stays healthy, the sky's the limit for us, man, this year. This next play here, Gunny, is what I was talking about in terms of the pony package. So back here, we have Braylon Allen and Breece Hall in the backfield. You have, looks like Garrett Wilson down here on the bottom. And then up top, you have Tyler Conklin in the slot. And I want to say that's Mike Williams up top here. It's either Williams or Lazard. It's kind of hard to tell. But again, this play right here isn't going to be the sexiest play in the world. We're not scoring a touchdown on this play. But like we were saying, it just the options that we have here on this formation is just phenomenal because you can do so much with it. You can run the ball with Braylon Allen here or Breece. You can motion Breece out or motion Braylon out, do whatever you want. But let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at the clip here. So here we have Rodgers. He's going to motion Breece out here to the right. And he's just going to dump it off. It wasn't the best pass, actually. If it was a better pass, Breece probably would have gotten a couple extra yards. But I'm just nitpicking at that point. But just take a look at this, man. We have Breece motioning out, catching the ball, and just picking up some yardage. Not the sexiest play in the world, like I said, but the defense has to account for him motioning over. And then obviously they're going to have to respect Braylon there, and the linebackers are going to have to sit on the ball a little bit there, as you saw. Check out this linebacker here in the middle. He's watching Breece move over, but he has to account for Braylon Allen there, anticipating the run there. So that's what's going to happen going forward. You're going to have those defenders kind of freeze, not know what to do really, and we're going to be able to basically do what we want. And Rodgers is the perfect quarterback to be able to think quickly and put the ball where it needs to be to his best player on that specific play.
Yeah, so a lot's happening here, right? So of course it's Green Bean says this all the time, man. If you get 4 yards every freaking snap, you're gonna go ahead and win the game. And you're right, it's not a lot, right? You're accustomed to seeing the bigger plays, but this is what a 7-8 yard gain. Right, 7-8 yard gain. Yeah. You're shortening the field a little bit. Those critical short third and short, second and shorts are impactful towards getting those first downs. And again, like in a situation like that, he made the decision so quickly, and you would think like, okay, if you're looking at it as the casual, right? Why didn't he hold it on longer to find if somebody could get open downfield? But it's him understanding the situation. Right there, he froze. He was able to go ahead and pretty much kill the pass rush because 33 was about to go ahead and come in on him. Gets rid of the ball. You get 6-7 yards. You make the next freaking snap that much easier for you. Again, it's adult football. It's literally a grown-up playing quarterback because if we had the quarterbacks of last year, they're already looking downfield trying to get a big play that might not even be there. He understands the importance of moving the ball, and even though it's only going to be 5-6 yards, that 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 2 or whatever the case might be is significantly easier to get than going forward deep, missing, and then now you're in a 3rd and long situation. So, again, it's adult football. It's not going to always be sexy because he did show us some sexy stuff playing against the Patriots. But this is what it's supposed to look like to keep drives moving. And again, you watch that whole game, and that's what Aaron Rodgers did. He kept drives moving the entire game.
Absolutely, 100%. So this next play here, Gunny, is going to be one of those plays where, again, the chemistry between Rodgers and Garrett isn't fully there. There's going to be a few plays here that we're going to talk about tonight, from Rodgers missing Garrett or just blatantly not seeing him, and this is one of those plays. Again, our offense is clicking relatively well, but once we get that connection between Rodgers and Garrett, man, like this offense is going to be elite. It's going to be phenomenal. So what I want you guys to take a look at is on the bottom of your screen here is going to be Garrett Wilson, and he's matched up here one-on-one. I believe that is Gonzalez. But just take a look at this play. I want you to take a look at Garrett Wilson this entire time here. I'll freeze it right here.
Yeah, this is the one you showed me earlier. Oh man.
So here's Garrett. Here's Aaron Rodgers right here. If Aaron Rodgers launches this ball, and again, you do have a deep safety here. So if Aaron Rodgers launches this ball somewhere in between Garrett and the defender, there's a chance that Garrett can score a touchdown here on this play. Now he doesn't get the ball to Garrett Wilson. Obviously here he throws it to Brees, and we actually got the first down. So this is kind of like a nitpicking play. However, it's just to show everyone that there are plays where Garrett is open and Rodgers is kind of looking at him, but for some reason he just doesn't throw it to him and he checks it down to Brees. But this is just to show everyone that Garrett is getting open, to not panic. He's still a number one wide receiver. I've heard some people saying what's going on with Garrett? Is he a number two instead? He is still the real deal. Just we're gonna talk about it more tonight. It's just the connection between Rodgers and Garrett just isn't there yet, and it's going to happen. It will happen. I'm confident that's going to happen. But over the next couple of weeks, we should see Garrett getting more touches and more targets here.
And I think to kind of to add to that, man, is there's a lot of panic. Like you said, I've heard a lot of Jets fans like, man, Garrett Wilson's been non-existent. I've got a couple of friends at work who drafted him in fantasy football, and they're like, you said this dude was the number one wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers has got options. Listen, for fantasy football, owners, this sucks for you. I get it, right? For those people that are betting on parlays and whatnot, it sucks. But Aaron Rodgers has options. That's what you should be getting from this as a Jets fan. Granted, you want to see Garrett Wilson freaking succeed. We all want to go ahead and see him dominate and get 1,500 yards, 10-plus touchdowns. I want to see it too. But again, when the adult is making the decision here, he's going to make the decision that's best for the entire team to actually win these games. And Jets fans, we were concerned, hey, after freaking, Garrett Wilson, who do we have available? Which is why we wanted to go wide receiver or freaking tight end in the draft. We're seeing right now that we've got other playmakers on this roster. Tyler Conklin went freaking off. Mike Williams is starting to show some life. Allen Lazard figured out how to play football again. That's a positive thing that the Jets have other options to go to when the defense is focused on taking away a guy like Garrett Wilson, which, by the way, all defenses have done that in all 3 games, trying to take him away.
Yeah, 100%. I am a big believer in Garrett Wilson. I'm so happy that we drafted him 10th overall in the 2022 draft. He is going to have a great year this year. He's going to have a big year. So everyone can book it, take that to the bank. It's going to happen. So this next play here, Gunny, is yet another Braylon Allen sighting. again, it's nothing too sexy, but this dude is just an absolute beast.
Look at the burst, bro. The acceleration through the hole for a guy that big is it's unheard of. It's disgusting even.
Yep.
Boom.
Boom. Just trucks that defender.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're a safety in the NFL, like you're not gonna be able to take this dude down without some help. It's not
business
gonna happen.
Decisions will be made. Business decisions will be made.
For sure. Yeah, like this dude just he's a freaking bowling ball, man. Like this dude, 6'1", 235 pounds. Like this guy is your bruiser, man. This next play here actually is a Braylon Allen highlight again. On this play, you're going to see Aaron Rodgers check it down, or check out of the play here. He's going to audible. He's telling everybody alert, alert, alert into a run play, and let's see what happens here. We're going to watch Braylon Allen in the backfield, gets the ball, and just trips up there.
But falls forward.
Falls forward.
He's always falling forward.
If Braylon Allen doesn't trip here, I'm thinking this might be a touchdown. This
100%.
could be a touchdown there.
100%.
But again, it's just one of those plays, man, that's like, it just shows you how good this kid is. At just 20 years old, this kid is this good, and he's a man amongst boys out there.
Yeah. 20 years old, Rodgers has given him nothing but praise. So you're talking about a kid that young who actually understands the game, understands his assignments. He's not trying to do more than he has to. He's literally taking what the defense gives him. You've seen him also be an impact in pass protection. Like, he's doing things that most running backs don't start figuring out until year 2, year 3 most times. But in year 1, you know what I'm saying? Again, compliments to, that running back room and, of course, the Aaron Rodgers effect. But at 20 years old, this kid is doing things that freaking 24, 25-year-old running backs are still trying to go ahead and get really good at the NFL level. It's really a compliment, man, to just how again, it's just weird to be saying this in terms of coaching, because I'm starting to see on the offensive side of the football some really positive things. Offensive line has looked really freaking good. The running back room has looked really good. The wide receiver room has looked really good. You're starting to see the offensive coaches now getting more praise, because these guys are coming out and playing football like some pros, and they're looking like it. So I know we used to go ahead and hammer on the offense a lot in terms of poor coaching, and we've given the defense a lot of love, all their flowers. But in 3 games now, I kind of feel like we got to start giving some flowers to the offensive coaching of this team too, because it's been pretty impressive thus far.
Absolutely, 100%. And one thing too, Gunny, that we were kind of missing was the tight end position. And this next play here is going to highlight why Tyler Conklin was, is so valuable in this offense, and he's going to continue to be valuable in this offense. He led the team in receiving yards this past week against the Patriots here, and he's just going to be a key player for us in that tight end room. I know a lot of guys wanted the Brock Bowers. A lot of the Bowers boys wanted him, and as good as Bowers is doing, man, I just think that Tyler Conklin is still so valuable. He was a top 10 tight end in the league last year in terms of yardage. I think he's going to do the same thing this year with Rodgers. So we're going to watch him in the middle of the field here. Rodgers has a little bit of time in the pocket, and he just dumps it off to Conklin in the middle. And Conklin almost takes this thing to the house.
Almost.
Which is great.
All right, can you run that back again? Look at this throw, guys.
Yeah.
Look at this throw from Aaron Rodgers.
Beautiful.
Bruh. Lean back, not stressing, flick of the wrist, it shoots out right into the hands of Conklin. Again, an adult throw. This is just, I love watching the dude throw the ball. No panic. The pocket is collapsing. He takes the hit. Doesn't matter. Ball's out of his hands quickly. A dart straight to Conklin, man. The accuracy of his throws. The how easy and effortless he makes it look, I think, is the crazy thing. It's just a flick of his wrist. Boom. Ball's out. Yep. Conklin's hand. Conklin's upfield. Giving him enough opportunity to lead him a little bit so he can go ahead and get some yak. Man. It's going to be a fun year of football, man. It's going to be so fun watching football.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, man. We were finally able to see a quarterback being able to put the ball where it's supposed to be, which is great. So on this next play here, Gunny, is going to be a Breece Hall run. So here's kind of like where I'm going to be nitpicking. and this is just me nitpicking, right? But if we're in the goal line, I don't want to see Brees Hall running that many plays up the middle. I want to see Braylon Allen here on these plays, and this is going to be one of the reasons why. So you're going to have Brees Hall here, and he's kind of shimming around a little bit, dancing around, and he does get a gain, and he almost scores, right?
Yeah.
In fact, he scores on the very next play. But the thing is that the type of style Brees Hall runs is he kind of takes his time for a hole to develop. He kind of dances around a little bit before putting his head down and running up the field. You see that little shimmy there he did?
Yeah.
I would much rather have Braylon Allen in there just taking the ball and just one cut steamrolling ahead. But again, I'm just nitpicking there. Brees Hall does score on the next play here. But what do you think, Gunny? Do you think that we should have more Braylon Allen on those goal line?
I think so, 100%. I do, and I think I don't know if it's a collective effort by the Jets, the offense, to make sure they're keeping Brees happy, right? But for me, in a situation like that, we've seen how Braylon operates in those short, and the kid's averaging 5.3 yards a carry, right? We were talking about just 6 yards out. I think the one cut is just enough for him to go ahead and minimize the reaction time of the defender, and he's able to bull rush him into the end zone. And I get it that Brees Hall scored on the next play, but what if the next time, we missed out the opportunity, right? Like, this is the NFL. Right. These opportunities close really fast to go ahead and score when you're in the red zone. And we got Aaron Rodgers, so you always have a shot with the ball in his hands. But that, I think, without question, Braylon Allen scores the first time. The first time. I think he scores the first time with no question about it. We're not worried about it. We're not having to go ahead and go back to the call it, challenge the play and go to the tape. I think convincingly Braylon Allen gets into the end zone. So I've gotten to that point, man, to where I've seen enough of Braylon Allen to where, like, hey, man, we're within 5 yards of the freaking goal line. Just put that man in. Put that man in and feed him. And again, I love Brees. He's our explosive back. He's that dude. But you're also thinking about how can you conserve, Brees for the back end of the season too, right? If we don't need to have him getting beat up, then let's not do that. Let's put in Braylon Allen, the 20-year-old kid with the young, fresh legs. Let him go ahead and pretty much inflict some beatings vice taking them.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%, Gunny. And like you said, we did score in that play there. But I do believe, like you're saying, that Braylon Allen probably would have scored the first time. And even if not, I would still want Braylon Allen there on that, first on that 1 yard to get a touchdown there on that short yardage there. So again, we're just kind of nitpicking there. We got the touchdown ultimately, but going forward, I want to see more Braylon Allen. Just like you, I want to see more Braylon Allen taking those inside runs there on the goal line.
It just makes sense too, man. You're talking about somebody who's already proven that he's going to pick up yards. It doesn't matter. He's gonna pick them up, and you're also conserving your other bell cow in Brees Hall by having the young kid. Put that beat up on his body, but in all actuality, he's the one beating up the defender. So like, it's a win-win in that capacity as well.
Absolutely. And this play right here is actually one of the reasons why he's going to be so valuable, especially on those goal line plays. So here we go again, Agent Zero, Braylon Allen. He's going to take the ball, just trucks that defender, and is able to, pick up some yards here. Maybe I don't know how many yards it was here. It wasn't too many yards, but that should have been a tackle for loss right there. That defender was in the backfield. Essentially wraps up around Braylon right here as I have the frame frozen here for a second. And look what he does. He just, boom, get off me. And he's able to either get back to line of scrimmage or get like a short little gain there, which is so valuable for us, man. It really is. Take a look at it one more time here. There we go.
Yeah, that play should have been stopped in the backfield, and he still made something out of nothing.
Yeah, man. He is just phenomenal. So this next play here is it's going to be another Garrett Wilson kind of missed opportunity. So we're going to see Garrett Wilson motioning out, or he's motioning to the right side of the field, bottom of the screen here, and just take a look at him. Just watch Garrett the entire time. Right there.
Oh my gosh.
He throws the ball, but it was the ball wasn't completely accurate. So Rodgers, look at this time that Rodgers has, by the way. Like, he's got time, he's moving around, throws it out to him, but just misses him, which is a rare miss. Like, Rodgers is statistically one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
So for him to miss like that is actually a pretty big deal. Now, could Aaron right here, like, let's freeze the frame. Could he have slowed down a little bit faster and maybe planted his foot?
Yeah.
Yeah, the defender was there, in the area, so maybe that's why he didn't fully stop. But, man, if this ball was a little bit more accurate, that's a touchdown right there for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, and it's a play we've seen him make 1,000 times, right? We know he can make that throw. We know he can nail that throw on the money. I really do believe there's a disconnect, man. I think that their timing is off, that they just haven't found their rhythm yet. Aaron Rodgers missing that is because Aaron Rodgers truly believed he was putting it to where Garrett Wilson was going to be. It wasn't because he just miscalculated over. He believed in his mind he's going to be there. I want to put it right there for him. And they got to get on that same page. Garrett Wilson had his dude beat. And it didn't like he slowed down or anything like that. They just haven't found their timing yet. And again, you want to go through these now while you're beating the dog crap, out of the Patriots, getting these learning pains out of the way, because we're going to go ahead and be facing up against the Buffalo Bills, right? Or we're going to be facing off against the Minnesota Vikings, who are coming out of like these teams. You can't afford to make those misses. So I think you're going to go ahead and see them connecting more when it matters most. So getting these kinks out of the way now is a good thing for us as Jets fans. But we wanted to showcase to y'all just how many points were left on the table. Just because of they're just not quite there yet, but they're going to get there.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you on that one, Gunny. And then on this next play, pretty much showcases the same exact thing. Garrett Wilson on the bottom of the screen here. On this next play, he is not 100% open. If Rodgers was able to take the shot, it probably would have been a 50-50 ball. But Garrett Wilson is one-on-one, and I am trusting Garrett in these situations here. So without further ado, let's take a look at him on the bottom of the screen here. Garrett Wilson. Just watch him the entire way through. One-on-one, he's got the inside leverage. So Rodgers is looking right at him, and he actually pumps, and we'll see it on the next play or on the next view angle here. On this next angle, we're not able to see Garrett. Just take a look at Rodgers. Watch what Rodgers does. He's right here. Watch him what he does the entire time. Watch. He pumps it. He wants to go to Garrett, but he just pulls it in. I did not see that live during the game. That initial pump from Rodgers, but watching back the tape, man, you can clearly see that he wants that touchdown. He wanted to target him, but he was like, he wanted to take the safer route. But I wish he would have taken that shot there.
And Aaron Rodgers is, he's got one of the greatest touchdown to interception ratios of all time, because although he's got some gunslinger in him, he's always been very methodical in regards to where he puts the ball and what he's going to take risks in. I think in that situation, this is an Aaron Rodgers who's just looking to protect the ball, right? Like, he's like, we don't need it. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going for that. Now, I believe wholeheartedly, if the Jets are down and they need to go ahead and gain a spark, he makes that throw just to go ahead and get something going. But I think in that situation, he knew, like, we're already up, several points. We'll work for the first down, work the clock. And I think that's the reason why he didn't take it, because you're right. I didn't see that part. Wow, he pump fakes that way, looks right at him. Mm-hmm. And I have a hard time believing Aaron Rodgers doubts his ability to make that throw when he's got the entire middle of the field open to go to lead Garrett Wilson away from the defender. I wish he would have taken it. But again, this is what I'm talking about in regards to when we were talking about the tape earlier. Like, a lot of points were left on the board. And then I think it's because either Aaron Rodgers is just not there yet and feeling so comfortable to say, yeah, it's Garrett Wilson, I'll throw it up there, he'll go get it. I know he's still trying. He says nothing but great things about him in any interview, any press conference. He knows he's a dog. He knows he's that dude. But for some reason, when it comes to live bullets, it seems to be a little bit more hesitant, a little bit more gun shy. I'm really hoping we see that turnaround here sooner than later. We got the Vikings and the Buffalo Bills on the schedule over the next 3 weeks, and both of those teams are looking pretty darn good. You're gonna have to take those shots or take that chance in making that play and trust Garrett Wilson. I think once he trusts Garrett Wilson, once he does that one time, and Garrett Wilson shows him, like, hey, I'm him, I'm that dude, I don't think we'll be watching tape like this again moving forward for the rest of the season, wondering why he didn't just take the shot. I think we'll be looking at more highlight reels of us wondering why he didn't take the shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not all doom and gloom for Garrett. Like Garrett did do a couple of things, and actually these next two clips are going to make Garrett Wilson fans very happy. So take a look at Garrett Wilson here. He's going to be on the top of the screen. And Garrett just gets the ball here, and he makes a little move there, almost scores. And then at the end of the play here, he's pissed. He throws the ball because Garrett Wilson is a high level competitor there, and he wants to score. So again, Rodgers took what the defense is giving him, and as you saw there, take a look at what Rodgers does pre-snap. He looks over at Garrett, knows that Garrett is going to be open, boom, just gets it out to him, and Garrett just makes a move here, almost scores. And then on the very next play, this might be my favorite throw from a Jets quarterback in a very long time. So here we have Garrett motioning out. I mean, any other quarterback in the NFL not named Rodgers, Mahomes, or Josh Allen possibly, like that ball is going back
that's
for
pick
intercepting
six.
a pick six. Right. Like look at the elite classism here by Aaron Rodgers, man, this throw.
Oh my gosh.
And then Garrett having the mental capacity to be able to bring that ball in and quickly get it over that goal line.
And the body control to make sure he scored that time. So listen, this throw right here, thus far this year, it's the best throw of the season. It is because,
100%.
like you said, only 3 people in the league right now you could. Honestly, I think it's Rodgers and Mahomes, and I believe Josh Allen has the arm talent to do it. I don't know if he hits that more often than not. So 3 people,
Right.
3 people in the NFL, I can confidently say can make that throw. And bro, he's doing it while he's falling away after he had to make an adjustment to get in place to get it around the defender, and still gets it on time accurately. And again, Gonzalez is not a scrub. 0 for the Patriots is not a scrub. I believe he's a top 5 cornerback in the NFL. Kid was lighting up the league last year before he got injured, and he's already kicked off the season locking down Jamar Chase. He did a great job against DK when he was covering him. When DK got the score, it wasn't on Gonzalez. Like, the kid has been locking down some premier freaking wide receivers thus far, 3 weeks in. And Aaron Rodgers takes that shot against that kid. And it had to be perfect. Otherwise, man, like you said, that's a pick six going the other way. That is the best throw so far of the 2024 NFL season. And that was the throw where I was sitting there like, man, that boy is back. That dude, Aaron Rodgers, is filthy with it, and he's a New York Jets quarterback. Like, I got so pumped from that throw, and again, my kids don't understand that he just threw a touchdown. No, you don't understand it. Yes, he threw a touchdown, but it's taking that chance, the defender being there, how much touch and a dot it had to be, how accurate it had to be for it to be a touchdown, if I say pick six. So, man, one of the best throws of the season thus far, man. I love that one. It's been the highlight of my week ever since he accomplished that last Thursday.
100%, Gunny. So we only have a few plays left here. This is going to be another one of those missed opportunities from Garrett Wilson. He's actually in the slot here, which is good. I like that we're moving him around a little bit. We're trying to, move him around and get him accustomed to different positions along that wide receiver position. Now he's in the slot here. Let's take a look at what happens. Right there. Actually, let's go back a little bit. So we see Rodgers motioning left. We have the defender coming up here. Now this would be such a difficult throw to make. So again, this is probably just me nitpicking here. But one of the only quarterbacks to make this throw are going to be either Rodgers or Mahomes. And I would like Rodgers to take this shot deep to Garrett Wilson right here. Like right here. It looks like he's trying to throw it, or looks like Lazard might potentially be open as well, maybe. But Garrett Wilson, man, he was actually at the end of the play there, vouching for the football. But we were still able to pick up yardage there. I believe it was good for a first down. But again, like I want to be able to, I want to see more shots going to Garrett there.
Yeah, that was another one where Garrett Wilson was running clean. Yeah, he had Gonzalez beat. And again, you just put it out in front of him, and I think he catches that cleanly, and he could potentially be on the way to a TD. But yeah, again, right there, he has him beat, man. Like all you got to do is put it out
Yeah.
in front of him. There's nobody. There's no safety. You know what I'm saying? He's got him beat. But again, Aaron Rodgers, when he pointed, I thought he was going to Wilson because he kept
Mhm.
pointed downfield. In my head, I'm thinking like, ooh, he's gonna do a Rodgers to Devontae Adams type throw. And then I'm not saying checked it down because he still got, 15, 20 yards on that play going to Conklin.
Right.
But, man, right there, man, Garrett Wilson is as open as you're going to get in the NFL. And, again, he's doing that against a guy like Christian Gonzalez, which is why I think, relax, y'all. Like, Garrett Wilson is still that dog. He's still him. He got plenty of opportunities getting open, beating one of the better cornerbacks in football. Aaron Rodgers, though, is understanding the fact that he doesn't have to force anything. And I think that's what we saw. Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to force anything. He wasn't going to put the game in jeopardy unnecessarily. I think if the New York Jets were down in that game, we see him take those shots. But because he didn't need to, he didn't. But, man, Garrett Wilson, I got to admit that I understand his frustration, but I'm also very impressed in how well he's handling himself because there was a couple of times, I think we were talking about it, he should have had like 150, at least 2 touchdowns in that game.
At least, yeah.
At least.
Right.
So, like, I understand his frustration, but I got to admit that I appreciate his demeanor and how he's maintaining himself. Again, those plays are going to
100%.
come. He's going to have that freaking ridiculous game where he drops 150 and 2+ touchdowns. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. But Garrett Wilson is getting open, and he's getting open at will. He's been doing it since pretty much week 1, and it was all over this tape as well.
100%. We have a couple more plays here. This next play here is actually a tribute to your boy that you had on the podcast last week. For the receiver that's going to make this play is Mike Williams here. So on the bottom of the screen, you're going to see number 18, Mike Williams. And this is just what he does, man. He takes a 50-50 ball and just dominates. Now, he did have a couple drops during this game, but he is coming off injury, and he's going to get better week in and week out. Like, you trust and believe that this guy is going to get better. He's going to do well for us here. And a play like this is just huge because Aaron Rodgers trusts him to make this play, and that's exactly what he does. And we're able to get a first down and a gain here. Get close and get inside the red zone.
Yeah, I had a couple of individuals come for me because he dropped that touchdown pass in the end zone. And I had to explain to them, I'm like, hey, this is this dude's first, couple of reps back, since tearing his ACL game 2 of last season. I was like, trust me, again, one of the important aspects of getting these out of the way now, because I promise you Mike Williams is going to catch that when he gets that ball thrown to him the exact same way in November, in December, when we need it the most. He's going to go ahead and turn that 50-50 into an 80-20. And then we're going to be
100%.
freaking clapping and acting a fool as Jets fans. So, yeah, that one was a drop. I think Aaron Rodgers gave him an opportunity to get a 50-50 ball. And for him, usually those are 80-20s. For now, he's human. He's doing 50-50. He's doing 50-50. But let him start trusting that freaking knee. I think Dano said it in the chat. Once we start getting him to 90% of the snaps, right, you're going to start seeing him getting more comfortable, getting more opportunities, and getting us some points.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not worried about Mike Williams at all going forward. So this is the final play of this clip here, of these clips. You're going to see Garrett Wilson in the slot, and this is just another one of those plays where the chemistry is just not there. It's clearly not there, and it needs to be fixed, and I believe it's going to get fixed very soon. So take a look at Garrett here in the slot. He's wide open, and Rodgers just could not get him the ball. Like another one of those rare inaccurate passes. If Rodgers was to get that ball up a little bit and hit Garrett in the chest, that would have been a very good gain. Depending on how Garrett Wilson does what he does after the catch, because we know how quick he is and how shifty he is, he could have been able to potentially score here or almost score on this play.
I know you got to jump off here real quick, man, so I'll let you go ahead and do your summary.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so again, guys, we should be very excited for this football team. I know that there were a couple plays here that obviously are showcasing the lack of chemistry between Garrett and Rodgers. But trust me, guys, we are gonna be just fine. And in fact, I believe that against the Broncos coming up here on Sunday, I believe it's going to be a ground and pound game for us. They don't do so hot against the run, but Garrett Wilson is going to be able to be open on some plays there, and I think Rodgers is going to be able to take a couple shots for him there. But again, thanks for having me on here, Gunny. Super excited to be able to be on your show as a fan of your show, be a part of it, and be able to kind of share my thoughts and go over everything with you. But yeah, thank you so much to be able to be a part of it. Yeah, I'm really excited for the season.
Mike, man, you're a G, brother, and I appreciate you, man. I know this was kind of last minute because we were just chopping it up in our text message thread, and I was like, dog, you know what? I'm going to do the Hangar Hangout on Wednesday, Vice Tuesday. You mind jumping on, and let's go ahead and just talk about the tape. This whole experience got me thinking about starting a whole new freaking show in the week. You know what I'm saying? I got to figure out what I'm going to call it. Maybe I'll call it like, to run the tape or something like that, right? Because this is fun stuff. Like, I enjoy doing it with you via text message all the time. And it looks like everybody's very much engaged in it. We got to a high of 65 people that was watching this, and this is not the normally, stream time for the show. So I'm gonna chop it up with you some more, bro, because I think this might be something that if you got the time, man, I would love to entertain doing a like run the tape series. You know what I'm saying, like on Wednesdays or something like that. Because I think Jets fans appreciate this stuff, right? Because again, we get to actually analyze quality tape for once. Seeing some of the positives, but being able to see how much better it can be, I think that's deep.
Absolutely.
But bro, I appreciate you making the time, man, chopping it up. I know you're a popular dude. You got another show you got to go ahead and jump on, man. So I'll chop it up with you via text message, brother. Listen, if you want to go ahead and follow Mike, his socials are in the description. I mean, he puts out stats constantly on his Twitter account. I copy and screenshot a lot of them and use them in my videos and whatnot. So if you're trying to go ahead and stay up to tune and to just how good your New York Jets is stat-wise, you have data to back up that shit talk you're going to have for the Buffalo Bills or the Dolphins. Mike the Stat Guy is the guy you want to follow.
Yeah, appreciate it, Gunny. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day.
Good night, brother. Yeah, so, I mean, that's this episode, right? Episode 25. I wanted to go ahead and pretty much make sure I didn't miss a beat with y'all. I appreciate you guys for jumping on. I know it's a Wednesday night. It's not our regular Tuesday night. But, again, I was in College Station the last couple of days doing some recruiting stuff. And I definitely wanted to go ahead and jump on here and talk the New York Jets with you guys because, again, it's good stuff. It's quality, positive stuff we got to talk about. So there's no way I wanted to miss out on a week of doing this with you guys. But with that said, I am contemplating on doing another segment weekly, potentially on Wednesdays. It's going to be just this, breaking down the tape of the New York Jets for that particular week. Got a couple of guys who I think are really, really good at doing exactly that. I'm all right at it, you know what I'm saying? I'm no Joe Blewett, you know what I'm saying? I'm no Dom or Frankie or Mike the Stat Guy. I'm okay at it, right? But bringing them on, breaking down the tape of what they saw, and then just discussing it, man, making sure you guys can see the good. And if it's the bad, we'll discuss the bad too and how they can potentially fix it. But I enjoyed this. It looks like y'all enjoyed it too. I might have to go ahead and make this a thing and have a new segment in the week called Run the Tape. I think I'm going to call it Run the Tape. But yeah, so that's the Hangar Hangout for the night. So listen, next Tuesday night, we're back to our regularly scheduled time. And I have a very, very special guest on the show on Tuesday night. We're going to have the Wesley Walker on the show. New York Jets wide receiver, freaking legend. Going to be on the show as our special guest on Tuesday night. And if you're not following me on YouTube, I urge you to do so because we are going to be doing a pretty awesome giveaway after Wesley jumps off the show on Tuesday night. I'll be putting the rules of how to go ahead and enter your name. If you're a Fire Team member, you're already freaking included into the giveaway, so I appreciate my Fire Team members of the channel. But chopping it up on Tuesday night. Next Tuesday night, 8 p.m., Hangar Hangout episode 26 is going live with a special guest. Wesley Walker is going to be on the show. I think you want to go ahead and be here to chop it up with one of the New York Jets legends at wide receiver. And, yeah, it's going to be a pretty awesome giveaway. Jets got the Broncos this week. I feel pretty good about it. I'm going to drop my prediction or preview video on Friday. So that'll be popping up on the channel around noonish, give or take. So make sure you're tracking that as well. I feel good about it, but I'm going to break down why I feel good about it in that video. So check it out. Again, hoping to see you guys next Tuesday at the Hangar Hangout. You don't want to miss it. Again, if you're following me on you're on Twitter right now watching this, thank you. If you got a moment to just jump on Twitter real quick, like and subscribe to the show. On Tuesday, you want to be eligible for you to go ahead and win this giveaway we're going to give away on Tuesday night. I promise you it's a good one. And it's going to depend on which one of our stars potentially on Sunday kind of goes off. Then I can make a decision on which giveaway, autograph memorabilia it's going to be. But with that said, Tuesday, we got Wesley Walker on the show. Definitely check in, hang out with us at the Hangar. And yeah, it feels good to be a Jets fan right now. The AFC East still runs through Buffalo. They've been playing pretty good ball. But in all actuality, I feel pretty good at the kind of ball the Jets are playing too. So, as always, go Jets.